Hello and welcome to the More Than Roommates podcast. I'm Dan, here with my roommate Graham. Graham, how are you doing?
As usual, doing pretty well. A little
Good.
tired, but
Yeah, we just took a nice power nap, but we
did.
got ourselves up. So sorry we are a little late with this episode. We were so good about pre-filming before my trip, and then after I got back,
You were gone for a whole week too.
Yeah, so we had that all taken care of, but then the week we got back, there's just a lot going on, so we're getting it to you now. But man, is there a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, if you are watching the podcast, you might see this nice little green aura behind me. I got this new light bar, and I'm obsessed with it. You can change it for the holidays and stuff, so that'll definitely be for the podcast room when it is ready. But
that was a Prime Day deal, right?
Yeah, it was a really good deal. So I was like over half off. So very cool. It's just like a nice little thing that we can change for the themes. So as you've seen from the headline, we're talking about aliens today. But before that, we do have a follow-up about the gym situation. I know, not to get your blood pressure rising, but there has been more development. Do you want to take it from there?
Yeah. So we hadn't been to the gym for, over a week together, I guess. I went pretty much every night that he was gone on his vacation/work trip.
Yep.
And went in by myself, never saw the guy. Like, I never had any issues until, the first day we went together last week, right?
So my first time back at that gym since the pool incident.
Yeah, which was only a couple of weeks ago, really. Yeah. Or a few weeks ago, I guess. But
so we entered through the side door, the 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we saw someone enter in front of us. And as we were entering, I could see the guy through the window. And I'm like, I felt like I wanted to start recording. I should have. I don't know why I didn't. But we both badge in. We walk in, and he immediately approaches
he
us.
ran us down. Yeah, literally.
And he's like, I'm going to need to see your guys' badges to make sure that...
I didn't see that you both checked in.
Yeah. So essentially, every time he's insinuating that we're sneaking the other person in, like one of us isn't paying, even though he signed us both up. So
I can't remember. I feel like I blew up immediately. I was just, this is the fifth time he had gone out of his way to check us or whatever, but it's really pretty embarrassing when he tracks you down in the middle of a crowd, or he tracks you down when you're on a machine or in the pool. And like, I was just not having it this time. I was like, dude, is there like an issue with our account? Is there a problem with our membership? Like, can you not just go look at the log?
And that is what some of our viewers suggested us, that maybe like someone that had worked in a gym before said like maybe our information wasn't filled out completely, and that's why this issue is happening.
Yeah.
So we quickly were like, is there an issue? Like, do we need to fill out more information? And he's like,
pictures of us from when we signed up.
Yeah. And he was like, nope, I do this to everyone. And I was like, no, you don't. I've never seen you do this to anyone else. And then he kind of got caught off guard that we were like actually fighting back this time. I was like, it's embarrassing that you call us out in front of everyone. I was like, do you not remember last week when you pulled me out of the pool? He's like, and we were like, how can we stop this interaction from happening? Because it makes us uncomfortable. And he's like, well, I do this to everyone, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And he started to walk away.
And he checked. I finally gave in and pulled out my badge and showed it to him.
Oh, and that was the other thing Graham said. He was like, can you not check the computer log to see that before you approach us, why aren't you checking your computer to see that we've... And he's like, oh, the computer doesn't show that.
He said it doesn't work like that.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
It seems like BS to me.
Because
like, why else would you take someone's picture?
Right.
So when they badge in, you can see their picture. Or
even if it doesn't show your picture, it should be reading the name, because after like 8:30 or 9, there's no employees there. So no one's checking your badges anyway. So again, if we were trying to sneak someone in, we would just go after hours.
Yeah.
But two, when people do enter after hours, there needs to be a record of who's entering and exiting this building in case something happens. They know who it is. So that's BS that he's saying that this doesn't read, because then someone could go in the middle of the night and scan in and steal all the equipment.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense that
and they have cameras. It says you're on camera.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, when he was like, "Oh, it doesn't say that," and he started to walk away, and I was like,
I know, I was like, "Have a great night."
Yeah,
oh no, I also asked. I was like, "Dude, who's the manager around here?" And he was like, "Whoa, well, it's me." And I'm like, "Okay, well then who is your boss?" Like,
yeah,
clearly you're not gonna talk to us like a decent human being. So
yeah,
he did tell us, and then I asked for his name. He did tell me. Hate having like a Chad, Karen, whatever attitude, but at a certain point, like, it's harassment.
Yeah.
For every time, like, we signed a contract with the facility, and we should be able to peacefully enjoy the facility while we're a paying member.
Yeah. And so I was so heated after this, like, it made a whole scene. And so I was like, okay, I think we're ready to cancel our membership.
He was walking away. Yeah, you were like, "Hey, sir, you know what? I think we're gonna just go ahead and cancel."
I was like, I think I'm ready to cancel. And
he was very happy to do it too. I feel like in his mind, he felt like he won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think like he has been harassing us and targeting us every time we've been in there.
Yeah. So, and we knew that you can't just cancel it. We just like chose to not renew. So we still have to go to this place till March. So we are definitely going to get our money's worth and keep going and not let him deter us. We're also are planning on taking this up the ladder. So we'll keep you updated on that. But that is kind of the latest. So
we just want to ask what the problem is.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, and the other thing is, when I was filling out the form to cancel, I was like, "Is there no place on here to write why I'm canceling?" And he's like, "No, we don't do that."
And I know that's BS, because I have canceled my membership at this exact gym and location before. And the first time I canceled, I wrote down, "There's no 24/7 access to restrooms." I said, "You close off, the certain area." Like, I listed all the reasons why I was actually canceling. So I know
that
they used to, I mean, unless they changed the process, but why would you collect less information?
It is a common fact that it is so difficult to cancel a gym membership, and the fact that it was so easy, I was like, something was off. But
it felt like you didn't give us a piece of paper.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It should have been a 2-pager.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, we're getting some advice from friends. I mean, we're not letting it like ruin our lives.
Yeah,
it's just a thing that's been going on. And when we have this platform and we're dealing with these people, we felt like it was important to talk about it. Just however this is going to end or whatever, it's not crazy, but it's just like, oh my gosh, it's awful.
Bro needs to learn customer service
for sure. Well, the other big thing is cue the X-Files music.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of, I think I just mentioned on the last episode, I've been rewatching that, so timing is like imperative apparently.
Yes, so if you guys haven't been watching the news, some high government officials testified
in front of Congress
that they have evidence of UAPs,
not UFOs. Yeah.
So we had to Google what a UAP is, and it's an unidentified alien
anomalous phenomena or something.
Yeah.
Per NASA, but
I mean, so what was your reaction when you saw that? There's government officials saying that there are aliens.
I don't know why I was so unbothered, and it seems like the majority of people are not bothered at this point. I feel like, I've mentioned, my dad growing up, he's always been into, like the conspiracy theories. And I feel like he always believed, that aliens are real. And to an extent, I don't know, it just makes you have like existential thoughts, like, how are we here? I mean, obviously we understand how, but you go back, and it just, I don't know. I want to believe in, there's a higher power, and I think we've been finding out over the recent years that there are technically other planets that look like they could sustain human life. And there have been people talking about it for decades, so I don't know. I guess it It should have been more of a bombshell than it was when I think his name is David Grush,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He pretty much admitted that they have found like alien bodies, I guess, or biologics
Yeah.
at these UAP crash sites.
And I do want to get into his testimony because that was interesting, but just previous, like, were you always into aliens? Were you a big alien fanatic?
Oh, it's okay. You're talking to like a scarred millennial that saw the movie Signs. Have you seen that? I saw it in the theater.
I saw The Fourth Kind, which freaked me out.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Signs is like a very big alien movie in the like late 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
It was who is that famous producer? He's kind of he does a lot of off the wall movies.
I have no idea.
No idea. I don't know why I can't think of it, but there's this one scene where like it's at like a child's birthday party in the movie, and there's a camcorder, and it's in like Mexico or something, and like the camcorder captures like an alien walk by like the frame or whatever, and then everyone freaks out, and it like goes national, you know.
Oh wow.
I don't know, it was a big movie. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Throw that in with watching the X-Files with my dad and, you know, all that stuff too. So I don't know. It was scarier as a kid.
But did you believe that have you always felt like they were aliens?
I don't know. It's just one of those things
you haven't given it much thought. Yeah. I will say I wasn't very big on aliens growing up. I was always into ghosts. I believe I spent more time dwelling on like the possibility of ghosts and aliens just because I feel like aliens could come in so many different forms. Like they could be your stereotypical thing, but they also could just be like an amoeba, you know, like alien could be a broad thing. So who knows what it is? I mean, we just saw Nope.
I know. I was just thinking that.
Which that was like a different take on an alien. So it's like, it's harder to wrap my head around. Right. So, but yeah, when and I feel like, you know, we've been slowly being fed information that from the government that it's like, what was it, 2020?
It was during the pandemic when they declassified tons of documents
about UFOs.
Just UFOs.
Yeah. So
I think a couple of those Navy pilots, they also testified.
Right.
About, you know, the UFO type activity too.
Yeah. So I will include the video here, but you might have remembered this footage where it was like two pilots were on a training mission and this was declassified information, but it's footage and there's like this, they describe it as a tic-tac type thing, and it just kind of floats unlike any other machine we have. It's like nothing's propelling it, and it can also like zip back and forth like almost like a drone.
Irregular movement. Yeah.
So it was two pilots involved with that, and then this other person who has worked in that department as far as like UAPs. Those are the people who testified. So the two pilots testified,
first-hand witnesses to
that flight. So theirs is believable, but they also weren't saying that they have classified information. They were just like this.
It was classified at one point,
right? But they don't specifically work in the alien sector. They were just they were just flying and then witnessed this, so that's why they were testifying. Now this other guy worked in that department, but I think it is important to note in his testimony, he says he has never seen anything
personally. Yeah,
he's interviewed people who have seen it.
But he was part of the program.
He was almost like the Men in Black that came in if people saw something, he would go and investigate them, and worked at from what I've gathered. So I do think that's important that he himself has not seen anything. So I think that also discredits to an extent.
Yeah.
But definitely creepy.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the fact they're saying, you know, there have been crash sites and they're finding alien, you know, biology, biomechanics, whatever. Biologics. Yeah, that's
what
did I say? Biomechanics.
I don't know. Yeah, so he said that he's interviewed people that have dealt with UFO crash sites and they've recovered biologics of the aliens.
Yeah.
And then they also asked him, do you know of anyone that's been injured by an alien? And he's like,
he dodged the answer.
No.
Really, didn't he?
Oh. No, he was like, yes. And or
Hmm.
they were like, has anyone ever been hurt? And he was like, yes. And they're like, by the aliens or by the government covering this up? And he was like, yes. You know, so he said both, like, aliens have hurt. I don't know.
Dodgy.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if this were true, I can't even comprehend it. I think that's why we're not reacting, because what is there to even...
What do you do?
Right.
I mean, that was, when I got to a certain age, I stopped being fearful over
things
you can't control, I mean, it does you no good, but stress you out.
I know. I struggle with that, like having things that are not doomsday scenarios really freak me out, and it is something I'm working on, but I hate it. But surprisingly, this, I just like, I can't even, who knows what's actually going to happen.
Right.
I'm going to be sitting on this couch doing this little podcast, and then they come and get us,
beam us up. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really surprises me at this point.
So so based off of what we've heard, do you think, like, what would be your guess as to what the aliens are like?
Ooh.
Like, what comforts me is the thought that maybe, like, we are like the equivalent of ants to aliens. Like, they're just so, like, we always think that if aliens come here, it would be like a battle of
resources
and the mines and who's going to take over the galaxy. But I hope it's more like they have this galaxy battened down. We're lock and key. They've got it handled, but we're just like their little ant farm on their shelf. And they're like, oh, I wonder how the Earthlings are doing. You guys want to do a field trip?
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure they don't even view us as like a threat. They're probably just like, oh, the Earthlings are killing the Earth. Let's see how many more years they've got, you know.
I had a wild thought too. What if it's just like humans in the future and they're like coming back?
It's a time machine, not a UFO.
Maybe it's a time machine or something. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know that was something that always confused me when they would send like the Mars rover and stuff to see if like there's signs that could support life or alien life. Seeing signs that could support human life is one thing, but then they're like, oh, to see if there's like anything, an ecosystem that could support alien life. It's like, who knows how they've adapted? Like, just because we've never experienced it, maybe they don't need oxygen. Like, if you had never discovered fish, you wouldn't think that water could support life.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like...
Right, yeah. Our minds just can't comprehend what we don't know.
Right.
100%.
So do you think the government has been covering this stuff up?
I mean, I guess they're admitting to it. Like, are they trying to distract us from something different? Or
I just don't understand how people are able to have loose lips now. Like, how did years and years and years of this government thing not letting anyone get the media attention like this? These, like, I feel like if someone were to do this, people would just like carry him away in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But like, how has this happened a couple times now?
Yeah.
Like, it's just odd.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought that was part of the interview. Like, they're now viewing this as a threat to national security.
Oh.
So they say. So maybe it's more recent than we thought. I don't know.
And I thought Trump unclassified, like he like made a point, declassified. Like that was a point. So maybe that, it's just so crazy.
We
like,
can fact check.
To be like in this era. And that was Hank Green did like a really good synopsis of this. And he's like, yeah, it's a little far-fetched. And I could understand that like these people, if there is going to be some momentum one day about this, like you would be like, there is probably a little bit of a reason to jump at the bit to be remembered as the first person to finally prove that there aren't aliens. So like there is a little bit of incentive for these people to go down in history.
True.
Like, and so you gotta, I mean, gosh, I wouldn't want to discredit them, but it is just, it's so hard to
there's
believe.
So much we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know what you guys think
Yeah.
about the whole alien thing.
What are they, little green men? Like, what do we think they are?
Gosh, right now I'm thinking more like amoeba. Even though we just watched Nope, that one was so interesting. Really good movie if
Yeah.
you guys have not seen it.
What if they're like parasitic or something
Gosh.
too? Hmm.
That'd be crazy. They could mind control
Or
us.
they could project themselves to look like us or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the possibilities are literally endless.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd be
man.
curious to know if we have like what they've recovered and if any like alien technology has been reverse engineered.
Yeah,
That'd be really interesting. Like, I think there's still a lot of questions that will probably continue to go unanswered.
For sure.
But
but yeah, let us know. I'm curious how, if people believe this, why we think we're all so unfazed by this. Like, I don't get why
Yeah.
no one is phased.
and why is it just the U.S.? Have like any other countries been talking about it
Right.
recently or no?
Right.
I mean, I think I've read about supernatural or unnatural phenomena in other places, but I don't know if I've really read much about aliens in particular
Yeah.
anywhere
true.
else. But
Very true.
I don't know.
Well, and then to round it off, we did just spend the longest time apart that we had ever had. So I was
Yeah.
on a work trip in St. Louis, which also is where my family lives. So I took time after the trip to go spend time at home. So it was very fun. It was fun to be in a hotel room by myself, but it was
You
hard.
got to do a lot. You got to go. You hadn't been to the top of the arch in a long time, right?
Correct,
You
not since
said?
college.
Yeah.
And if you have not been up in the arch, man, the little elevator, it's like a little egg. And man, I was like, this is too soon after all the submersive stuff. Like, I was like, it was freaky.
That's tried and true, baby.
Yeah.
The arch. I mean,
That's true. That's what I was like. That's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
Like,
they're following an actual regulated
Yeah.
board of standards.
I did see, as soon as I went
Yeah.
up, I saw a TikTok of people being up there during a storm and it
Ooh.
swaying while they were up there.
I've heard about that in like the Space Needle too in
Yeah.
Seattle.
Well, it
Yeah.
like has to be able to sway because that like prevents it from
Structure.
breaking.
Right.
But oh my gosh, I could not handle that. But yeah, it was a
Yeah.
fun trip, but it was hard being away from you because we
No.
also haven't had to like we don't like text each other a lot or anything because we see each other.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more just like, how's your day?
Yeah.
You know. But this one, it was like interesting to like call you at the end
And
of the
FaceTime,
day.
yeah.
And like catch you up on everything and
Yeah.
fill you
It was
in.
just me and Pepper girl got some quality time hanging out, but
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, and like I said, I went to the gym completely unbothered by the individual. but
Yeah. Maybe.
Watched a lot of movies.
So I thought I was gonna struggle a little bit more. I will say I was so much busier than I thought.
He
I
was busy.
Yeah, I didn't have time to even be bored or like
Yeah.
we were like
You had events and dinners
7 to
and-
10 every night. So
I know. So like when I was like amped up and ready to talk at like 8 o'clock,
yeah,
winding down, I was like, he's still.
yeah, up in
busy.
the arch, freaking out.
Guess
Yeah.
I'll just scroll on the old Facebook, the old TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, I will say it was cool. I had never been to a work conference before, so it was really cool talking with business professionals, and I learned a lot about my job and a lot of
Yeah.
ideas I get to implement now. So I really enjoyed it.
That's
But,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I wanted to go. Like, they had a really nice gym there. I was
In the hotel.
and I thought I was gonna be on my fitness game.
I know. I
No.
thought you were too. I thought you were gonna give me a run for my money.
Yeah,
Even being at home.
I thought we would be done by like 5 o'clock, and then we'd eat dinner, and then the rest would be. But we planned like team building activities after dinner every day, so I wasn't getting back home till like 10. So
Yeah.
and by
It's kinda
then
late.
I was just like, gosh, But I was.
I mean, you had to get up early and whatnot too.
Yeah.
So
So do you think you struggled more with me being away just because you were
I
in the
did-
same routine?
I didn't sleep as well. I can tell you that.
Even
which
with
is-
the extra space.
Okay, that did help. And Pepper also did not wake me up one time
Yeah.
at all. Like, we slept through the night. Every night it was amazing.
The dream.
She slept in your spot, so like the first night or two. So I kind of cuddled her, or
Yeah.
cuddled up to her. But then other nights she would pick a different spot, like she the little fart took my spot.
Yeah.
So I took your spot once at least too. I was like, okay, well, I don't need to make her move, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a bad pet dad
Yeah.
move.
Oh, and Graham did
But,
catch
yeah.
a good reunion of Pepper and I as soon as I got back. That's on our
Yeah.
YouTube shorts. Go check that out. That was
Yeah.
adorable.
We did so when Dan and I FaceTimed, I thought, okay, I'll try to like, let Dan engage with Pepper a little bit, because you could tell, even though I was taking her to work, with me every day, like she was still kind of,
Off.
probably obviously wants to know where you're at.
Yeah.
She was comfortable with me, but still like
Yeah, where's Dan?
she cut her food ration in half.
Jeez.
She pretty much, she liked to eat at work.
Yeah.
So I'm sure getting to see other people and stuff probably really helps too. But this is like me normally talking, start down one path and I wind up.
Yeah.
But we were FaceTiming one night and Pepper could hear Dan talking, so I tried to like show Pepper, the phone, and you engaged with her.
Yeah, I would try to talk to her.
And she perked up, like her ears and stuff from what I remember, in her tail, and she kind of like came over. But then like, I don't know, her being mostly beagle, like she's missing that sensory component,
The scent,
the
the
scent,
smelling.
and I think it like she kind of knew, but she was a little confused.
Yeah.
So she kind of, I don't know, what would you say? She engaged with you for what, like 5 or 10 seconds,
Yeah,
and then she kind of just.
And she kept looking towards the front door, like expecting the guy was coming from there. I don't know. It was very odd. I felt bad.
And then she finally just plopped over on her side. So I was like, okay, let's,
Yeah, let's stop. But
yeah.
No, it was cute when we reunited.
But yes, that was. You'll have to
And she's
check
doing
out.
good.
It was a short, right?
Yep.
On
YouTube
everywhere.
short.
Yeah. Did you post it on?
Yeah, follow
IG?
TikTok, Instagram, look everywhere for it.
Threads.
I think I did put that one on Threads actually.
Yeah, okay.
So
Cool.
and we hit a big achievement for our YouTube channel. We hit 80,000 views, which
That's
just
epic.
yeah. Mind blowing. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So thank you guys
Yeah.
for always supporting.
I guess
We've
you
got-
like listening to us.
Yeah.
Even the haters.
And we've even got some like people reaching out that like we didn't know personally. That
Yeah.
they've picked up on it. So again, it's always great to hear from you. And a lot of people text us after each episode to like share their thoughts.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the aliens.
And please put them in the comments.
Yeah,
for
help
us,
our
please.
algorithm. Like
yeah.
we need the comments and the
Yeah.
likes. That
We'll
keep-
reply to you, and then we can have a full text conversation about it,
Yeah.
I promise.
Yes.
But put the comment there first.
yeah, please
Yeah.
boost our algorithm. And we've already got our next episode planned out, so make sure you tune in next week.
Yep.
Okay, talk to
All
you guys
right.
later.
Later.